What's up?
Cool.
So, what was our book? The Kite Runner?
Hi guys, welcome back to book review.
Yeah.
Today we'll be doing. I'm sorry.
All right.
The
we're
Kite
reading
Runner?
The Kite Runner by
Bye.
Khaled Hosseini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Alright.
What do you guys think of it?
Do we need genre too?
it's
What is it? Fiction?
fiction, yeah.
It is fiction.
Maybe a little bit historical fiction?
I was about to say non-fiction because the way he wrote it, but it's actually fiction.
Yeah, it's
It is fiction. It's like so crazy. You know,
It is kind of historical fiction though, because
Yeah.
it's related to real life.
There's real events in it, but it's not a real story about this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I thought the book, it started out as like a regular book, as all books do, I guess. But it was started out kind of boring. Like I was like not interested in reading it at first, to be honest. But it really did start out boring until we got to the big,
That
you know,
big scene.
moment, like
Yeah.
that big point.
Yeah.
And you already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I do, yeah.
And then from after that, it feels like that should have been the part where like that should have been the midpoint, but that was kind of just the beginning.
Like the climax, you mean?
Yeah, that should have been the climax, and then the after that should have just been, or I thought it was gonna be like him just working on it, like just
Yeah.
a little bit, like thinking about it for a little bit. But it went through his
Yeah, it just keeps
whole
ramping up.
life, bro.
I know, yeah.
Like his whole life. I
Yeah.
thought that was just OD.
Mhm.
I did not. there was
Because
so much-
the only thing we were told about was that one scene, and then we pick up
Yeah.
the book, and it's like, oh my god, like this guy's entire life
'cause
story.
it's really not even.
All
It's really not about that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is about it, but
It's
yeah,
more
that's,
like
that's a main focal point of the book, but like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
about a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
agreed.
Hmm.
I liked I think one thing I liked about like the author that like he did a lot was I liked one thing I didn't like was the time skips. That got a little confusing. Like he becomes going from like I think it was like what 1970s when he grew up, like Amir, and then like 1940s like when his dad grew up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And going back to like going forward to like 1980s. I think it went to 2000. It was just a lot of time skipping and fast forwarding and rewinding. I thought it was a little confusing throughout chapters, but
It did get a bit confusing.
it really did, yeah.
There were actually a lot. How many were there? Because he skipped time to go age a lot. Like
I think
first-
there were like maybe 3 or 4 time skips.
Yeah.
Off the top
the
of my
first
head.
time skip kind of caught me off guard. I was like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't-
came right after the Hassan moved out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like, yeah, we went through like 7
After the
servants in like
festival, right?
multiple years. Yeah.
What'd you guys
No,
think?
it was after Amir's birthday when he planted the stuff
Oh, I know
underneath his
what you're talking
mattress.
about. And
yeah.
then both of them, and then Hassan's like, oh yeah, I did actually do it.
Mhm.
And then they left.
Yeah.
Or they chose to leave. They
Mhm.
because the dad forgave him.
I did like that like whole theme about how like every sin is like a theft, kind of.
Oh, yeah, that
was Yeah, yeah.
Where like murder is like you're stealing
sense.
someone's
Yeah.
life. And like
It made
what was another one?
Like when you lie, you steal the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. Like, I could like relate that. I could carry that message like in my personal life, honestly, a little
Like,
bit.
wow, you really just stole his right to the truth.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like it makes me like second like
And what do you think
Think
about
about, like,
the
lying.
dad? He's kind of like a hypocrite.
So,
I'm not gonna lie.
A
Like
little bit of a hypocrite.
beginning,
but
he was crazy. Like, oh, this guy's big. Like his.
it's like this guy rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But towards the end, we kind of see his true self. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of Amir's perspective of him because Amir, as a child, kids are always like, oh yeah, my dad's the best. Like, oh no, my dad's the best. Like, oh no, your dad's like no. But as you get older, you're kind of seeing the small flaws. As you get
Yeah.
older and older, the flaws kind of rack up. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he actually kind of does struggle with patience. Oh, he actually kind of does tell some lies.
yeah.
Like the dad didn't tell. I guess he didn't have to tell. I don't really know. But like
Yeah.
you know, Hassan being his actual son.
Hmm. That's a pretty big bomb to drop on somebody.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, you know, Amir was getting a little bit like too mad at that because he had that secret that he was keeping from his father that entire time that he just stood idly by while
Yeah.
Hassan got assaulted.
He got it from everyone.
Yeah,
A lot of people.
I think it only came out that he told his wife,
Yeah.
and that's about it. He didn't directly tell anybody else. The only people that know are that guy Rahim Khan and Ali, Hassan's father.
Did Asif know? Asif didn't.
Asaf? No, he
He kind
didn't.
of played like he knew, but he didn't. All right.
Well,
It seemed like he did.
I mean, he was the guy assaulting
I'm saying-
Hassan, but like, did he know that?
Amir was watching. Is what I'm saying.
I I don't know.
I don't
No,
know.
I don't think
actually.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Might have to flip back through, but
Yeah.
Overall, what would we give this book?
Out of
for
10?
rating wise? You want out of 10 or out of 5 stars?
5
So we can
stars.
talk about
5
it.
stars. I'll give it like a. Like a. You know, I'll let you guys go first.
I want to say, all right, let's just deduct points. What do we deduct points for? So we're
Deduct
starting
points
at
for-
we're starting at 5. What do we deduct points for?
I don't know if we can deduct points. It's just like it just got
Yeah.
boring after.
It
the
did get
scene.
so boring after the
It
scene.
really did. I think the climax just came too early in the book,
Yeah.
and then the rest was a bunch of falling action.
Yeah.
It was like rising action, climax.
Yeah, climax
falling
kinda
action,
like page
rising
90,
action,
and then
climax.
the rest 2 of the pages. Was
Well, you want to
falling
give it like a 3, like solid 3?
Yeah, like a solid 3.
Because it
Maybe
wasn't
3.5.
It wasn't 2.5.
Give it like
you can't
a-
even give it 50%. You can't give it a 2%, a 50%.
I can give it a 2 star.
He wrote it really good.
Yeah.
He was very good.
That's true. He did.
I didn't really like the story, but he did write it excellent.
The author did.
Yeah,
That's
actually
true. His writing was real. I'll give it 3.
Yeah, I think
I
I
saw
think
3. I'll compromise.
three's fair. I'd say.
I think it's fair.
3.
I wonder.
It could have been a lot more, but man, I don't know.
It was just. It was good.
The
It was
plot
really-
just wasn't.
The first 90 pages of it were so. I know. Like from 60 to 90, that was actually good.
Yeah.
But like after that, it was kind of good after that too. Like the kind of like how Asif was kind of tortured. Obviously it wasn't good, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this stuff is like real. This is like, it felt real for a second, but then after that, it just kind of felt like he was stretching the story too much. Like he wanted to, he had a certain amount of pages he had to.
Yeah, he had to pad it out until he could get to the next rising action, climax, falling action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like how Hassan was actually his son. He felt like he was just making stuff up at that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fictional, but
I mean, it just felt like he was just adding things to
it's
add.
adding things to add things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like, oh, and Hassan is his brother, his half brother, and he has a son in Afghanistan. You need to go
And
back to
you also
Afghanistan.
get to say it, Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it
But
just
yeah,
feels a bit like.
solid 3. We could say that, right?
Yeah.
3 stars.
We have to also say like a passage
Oh
that
yeah.
stood out to us,
You
right?
did you have one?
I have one.
All right, yeah, we'll let you go first while I
Alright.
flip through my dialectical journals.
On page 284, the author writes, I think this is when Asaf was talking to Amir. Afghanistan is like a beautiful mansion littered with garbage, and someone has to take out the garbage.
Wow.
That kind of spoke up to me because, like,
That's showing like the divide, right?
yeah, like the class structure division, which was my essay about, and also just like,
Appreciate it. That's crazy. Everybody else is like, oh my gosh, why do you have that on?
no, it's kind of gross. I don't know.
Whatever.
Okay, but anyways, that's kind of crazy to me. Like Afghanistan, like I feel like a lot of people's like viewpoints on Afghanistan, like maybe it's a little dirty. You know what I mean? Like a lot of like Western societies, they talk downly or poorly on Afghanistan. But realistically, it's a beautiful place. But there's like a lot of
Bad things.
crime, the
Political
Taliban.
turmoil.
Yeah, that's like polluting
If they
it.
had a strong government, it would probably be a nice place. I mean, yeah, it's just like everywhere else. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like everywhere else.
Yeah.
Except they apparently have pomegranate trees.
Yeah. yeah.
Sounds good, sounds good.
I had a quote kind of similar to his, or I guess regarding Asif as well. Or no, it's not regarding Asif. My bad. It's towards the beginning of the book, page 28 and 29. My favorite part of reading to Hassan was when we came across a big word that he didn't know. I tease him, expose his ignorance. One time I was reading him a Mullah Nazarene story, and he stopped me. What does that word mean? Well, and it keeps on going on that, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys remember that
I
part?
remember that scene.
Yeah.
That's when I felt like he was a Greg Heffley.
Yeah, like he
that
was
bully
very.
to
That
his friends.
I feel like that theme of him being self-centered is what's the
Yeah,
word?
I feel like
or no,
self-centered.
I think it was like self-superiority.
Self-superiority.
Yeah.
that.
Kind of. Or I don't know. Does he even see himself as better? He knows that.
Yeah.
Like, he knows he's a
definitely
bad
does. He
guy.
definitely knows he's better than him. He definitely
No. I'm saying he knows that he has a problem and so, like internal
Yeah.
problem. So I don't think
But he doesn't do anything to fix it,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah,
sort of
he-
makes
Yeah,
it
because
like
he
cries
feels
about
bad
it.
about it sometimes.
he's an antagonist in his
we know-
own story.
Regardless, we know he's an egotistic, selfish guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. I wrote this quote because I wrote it in the beginning, but as we keep going in the story, it's the same thing every time. It's kind of like it repeats itself.
Mhm.
Like he goes, does something bad, or realizes something new, realizes that, oh shoot, I was kind of selfish there, or like, oh shoot, they were selfish maybe, I guess. But then, I guess, moves on, forgets about it, and then continues on, finds another one.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing happens.
He doesn't learn.
At all. Like, no, not at all. You want to say a quote?
Yeah. Quote, page 156. Baba refusing treatment from the doctor. That's a clear answer, Dr. Amani. Thank you for that, Baba said. But no chemo medication for me. He had the same resolved look on his face as the day he dropped the stack of food stamps on Mrs. Dobbins' desk. Basically, you know, with the context provided later in the book,
Yeah.
you know, it sort of just makes me wonder, like, was Baba doing this because he wanted to be like a strong man throughout like his last few months of life? Or was he doing that to sort of like atone for like what he's done in the past? Because it said on another page, Rahim Khan said that like Baba had like a troubled past. So like, I wonder if it's like in any way, like,
Yeah, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
But I think it was just being like, quote unquote, brave, or like trying to be that strong military.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't get sick. Like, this is
Yeah,
nothing.
strong,
like arrogant.
Yeah,
proud,
like,
arrogant,
ignorant.
man.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's ignorant.
That
You
very
think you're so much-
masculine vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's what I think more of. I guess maybe he was trying to tone like, oh yeah, maybe I should die for this, but like, I don't think. I don't know. He's a weird guy.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of him anymore. Like after beginning, I don't like him anymore. But anyone else got anything to say?
I think we're
Nope,
good.
I think that
I
wraps
was
it
like
up.
10 minutes. There's no way she's watching all this.
Well,
Of course
yeah,
not.
no, but
Overall, 3 out of 5 stars for the Kite Runner.
pretty.
It's aight.
It's solid.
It's aight.
Yeah.
It's solid. I'd say that it's a solid book.